This time last year, I laughed at myself in the face if I had said that one day I would become a morning person. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Emily Elizabeth May and I make videos to encourage, empower and motivate you to live your best life. Last week I spoke about the benefits of waking up early in a video called Why You Should Wake Up Earlier Tomorrow. I will link that in the description if you haven't had a chance to see it yet. Today is the exciting part of actually learning how to do it and how to become a morning person. I'm going to share with you everything that I've put in place to become a morning person. Before diving into my tips and tricks, I have got an introductory tip. The first thing that you need to do before you try anything else is to change your attitude towards the morning. Mornings are sacred, not evil. Removing all negative connotations towards the morning has changed my life. I was at a point where I had no money, no jobs coming in. I was in a huge amount of debt and I had health issue after health issue. I could have easily found myself spiraling into a deep hole, but instead I discovered the morning and how my positive mindset towards the morning could affect every other aspect of my life. So use these tips to become a morning person. You have no idea how it could change your life. Okay, number one. Now you all knew it was coming and it was probably the most obvious tip out there, but to get up earlier in the mornings, you need to go to bed at a reasonable time. I'm not saying you need to jump into bed at 7 p.m. and lights off by 8. I'm just saying don't expect to wake up at 5 a.m. and feel really good about it if you've gone to sleep the night before at midnight. Number two, improve your sleep hygiene. Fact, if you have enough good quality sleep, it doesn't matter what time you wake up. If you have the quality sleep, you will feel great. Some tips to develop good sleep hygiene include avoiding stimulants in the afternoon. Create yourself a nighttime routine that works for you. For example, have a hot bath or a hot shower. Put lavender essential oils on your pillow. Read before bed. That makes me really tired. Meditate. I love to do a body scan before bed because a body scan just makes you feel really heavy and you kind of like sink into everything, and it's the perfect way to drift off. Remove all electronics from the bedroom. That little blue light, I can't remember what it's called, but it is really bad for you if you want a good sleep. So set all your phone settings to the orange light, I think it is. I need to do more research on that, but you know what I'm talking about. You've probably heard it before. And then yeah, remove all electronics from the bedroom. Having a TV in the bedroom, that is just really poor hygiene for your sleep. The bedroom is for sleeping and, you know, other things with your partner, but it's basically just for sleep. You don't want to be doing other things in the bed because that will disturb your quality of sleep. And another tip I would suggest to get blackout blinds or earplugs if you're in quite a noisy area. I sleep with earplugs every night because I get disturbed by noise really easily, and I have this app that monitors my sleep. It is so obvious. The nights that I keep my earplugs in, I'm in a really nice deep sleep for a long amount of time and it's undisturbed. On the odd occasion that I either forget or I pull them out in my sleep, because sometimes I pull them out and I think they're food and I get hungry. No, seriously, once I put it in my mouth because I was dreaming I was eating a Malteser and then I woke up with my earplug in my mouth. Nah. Anyway, I get a good amount of sleep when I put my earplugs in. My app shows me, and when I accidentally take them out for whatever reason I take them out for, that's when my app tells me I get disturbed by Alex's farts and whatnot. I think I spoke about sleep hygiene enough. I probably could have done another video on that. Okay, so number 3 is meditate before bed. And I know I kind of just touched on this before in tip number 2, but my favorite thing to do is a body scan before bed. Body scans put you into a proper relaxed state and it's just the perfect way to drift off. There are loads of different apps that you can get to help you with this kind of thing. The one that I use at the moment is Calm, and I'm really enjoying that. I got a yearly subscription. I use it every single day for so many different things and it is great. I highly recommend it. Number 4 is to use a slow wake alarm. This for me is a game changer. I use an app called Sleep Cycle. This is what I was talking about before, the app that monitors my sleep. It also has a slow wake alarm, which is just so amazing. It wakes you up within a half-hour period, so you can set it, say, between 6 and 6:30 a.m. I want to wake up, and it will wake you up in your lightest sleep. So your alarm's never going to go off when you are in that deep sleep and like really petrify you in the middle of the night and wake you up and you feel like, you know, when you feel really awful because your alarm's just... Speaking of alarms, oh God. that's going to be a problem. It stopped. That is really weird that I said the word alarm and then an alarm went off, right? That was spooky. I think I might make a wish just in case. Alright, I'm gonna go on. I don't know what I was talking about. Oh yeah, you know when sometimes you wake up like an hour before your alarm is set to go off and you wake up and you're like, oh, I feel great, this is amazing, and you look at your clock and it's like 5 a.m. and you're like, oh, like I don't want to get up at 5 a.m. I'm gonna sleep for a couple more hours. Great, go back to sleep. Wake up when your alarm goes off and you feel bloody awful because your alarm has woken you up in a deep sleep. And then you get really angry because you're like, I felt great earlier when I just woke up naturally, but now my alarm's going off and I feel awful. But it's 2 hours later and I've had 2 hours of more sleep, but you wake up and you feel cranky. Does that make sense? Have I made sense? I'm not sure. This sleep cycle app, game changer. That is why it's a game changer. It wakes you up in a light sleep. So good. You're no longer waking up as the Grinch. You're waking up as a happy, normal human being. There's something else I want to talk about with alarms. Just on a side note, there are loads of tips out there which people tell you to put your alarm on the other side of the room so that when it goes off, you have no choice but to jump out of bed and go turn it off, and then you're out of bed and that is your way of getting up. Now, I think yes, this is kind of like a good way to get yourself out of bed, but I would suggest otherwise. I think when you're trying to teach yourself to wake up early and you're trying, like I said before, you're trying to get into that positive mindset of the mornings. You're trying to teach yourself how to enjoy the mornings and not hate the mornings. We don't want your first thought in the morning to be a negative one. We don't want you to wake up, hear your alarm on the other side of the room and think, oh, God, I've got to go turn that off, and then jump out of bed and go turn it off. That is waking up and instantly you are angry. Instantly you're hearing your alarm and you are pissed off. So I think that's a poor way of waking yourself up because we're trying to change your attitude towards the morning. We want to wake yourself up in a nice, gentle way, and we want to make you wake up and the first thing you think of is, it's the morning. I can't wait to go on with the day. You know, you get me, you feel me? You're picking up what I'm putting down. So that is another great reason why the Sleep Cycle app is fantastic. I'm gonna move on from that now. I will link that app in the description because I've talked so much about it and I love it and you should all get it. Number 5 is to know your why. This is a really, really important one, a really helpful one if you wanna change your mindset towards morning. This sentence is thrown around a lot. Not thrown around, but it's used a lot, and that's for good reason. It's really important. If you wanna be productive, if you wanna get work done and you wanna do it well and you wanna do it positively and you want to get the most out of your whole life, knowing your why is super important. And there are so many different ways you can find out your why. Over a year ago, I had absolutely no idea what my why was, and I did loads of different things. I used loads of different resources, I did heaps of different exercises, I tried different things. I think I'm going to make an entire series on knowing your why and how to find your why and your purpose another time because it's its own other story. But knowing your why will help you get up in the mornings, because when I wake up in the mornings now, I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, yes, I can't wait to do this and I can't wait to do that, and I know what I'm doing for the day and I'm really excited and I'm jumping out of bed. I'm not creeping under the covers and wishing that I didn't have to get up all day. Like, I've been there, that's awful, but I had absolutely no idea what my why was at that point. So yeah, understanding your why is really helpful to change your positive mindset towards the morning and to just jump up and leap out of bed. On another side note, you should watch my video on intentional living. If you haven't watched it yet, I will link it in the description below. Okay, so number 6 is a little hack or another little trick, and it is have a treat waiting for you. So when I wake up in the mornings, I'm so excited to make my coffee and get snuggled up and sit on the sofa and watch the sunrise. This is my treat. I love it. I love it so much. This is my moment. It's such a sacred moment for me, and it is my moment of calm before the day starts. Number 7 is another hack, and that is drink a glass of water first thing when you wake up. This for me is another game changer. I used to hate drinking water when I first woke up in the morning. I thought it just tasted disgusting and my mouth was like, ugh, water's is the last thing I want to put in my mouth. I want my coffee. Where is my coffee? Where is my coffee? That's what I'm thinking. You know, I was reading a lot and I was reading, everyone was like, have a glass of water. And basically the science behind it is that when you sleep, you get dehydrated. You sleep for 8 hours, you haven't had any water, you are getting dehydrated. So a symptom of dehydration is tiredness. And so really it makes sense to have a big glass of water in the morning, and that will help you be less tired. So I started doing this in the morning, making a habit of having a glass of water in the mornings before my coffee. My coffee is my treat. So I would have the water knowing that my coffee was coming next, and I'd be really excited. And I'm gonna be honest with you, that glass of water, as soon as it hits my throat and I can feel it going into me, it is like instant wake up call. It's like splashing your face with cold water. That's another tip, I guess. But it's like splashing your face with cold water. It wakes you up instantly. It's insane. Try it if you haven't yet. I swear it probably wakes me up quicker than my coffee does, but I just love the taste of coffee, so coffee's next on my list. It just happens. I love it. Okay, so tip number 8 is to go slowly. When you're developing a new habit, you never want to jump straight in, go full bore. If your alarm usually goes off at 7:30, you don't want to set it for 5 a.m. the next morning, because you're going to be like, this sucks so much. So I would suggest just going in 10-minute increments. And so tomorrow, wake up 10 minutes earlier, and then do that for a week and see how you feel. And then maybe the next week, wake up 20 minutes earlier, and so on and so on. Or you might have to do it for a month first. Just don't push yourself. If your body's saying no, 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 don't push yourself, because pushing yourself hard in the beginning will not help you develop that positive mindset towards the morning that we were talking about. And that is really the most important thing. That's what you need to be focusing on the whole time. Everything that you do when you wake up in the morning is with positivity, because if you don't have that positive mindset, you will not keep it up. So number 9 is to focus on one tip at a time. So maybe before you decide to set your alarm earlier, for like a couple of weeks, you decide, oh, I'm just going to teach myself how to have a big glass of water in the morning first thing. So you do that for a week, you do that for another week, and then you're like, okay, I'm ready to set my alarm 10 minutes earlier, and then you start setting your alarm 10 minutes earlier. So you're developing one habit at a time. So when you're waking up that 10 minutes earlier, you know the first thing you're going to do is have a glass of water, because you've developed that habit. And you know, once you're waking up 10 minutes earlier, you can also be developing your sleep hygiene for the night before. So you're working on your nighttime routine, which was another one of the tips. Number 10 is, if you have a partner, get them on board. It's so much easier to do something like this when you have someone else doing it with you and supporting you too. In saying that, I do love my hour in the morning before Alex has gotten up, because it's like my me time before he gets up and does his farts and makes himself smelly around the house. Like, that is my sacred time. I light a candle, it smells good, it doesn't smell like bad breath and butthole. Moving on. Or if you don't have a partner that you live with, you could try partnering up with a friend who also wants to learn to wake up early. That way you hold each other accountable. You could text each other in the mornings when you're up and encourage each other and tell each other it's going to be okay, blah, 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 you'll get through this, and you'll be each other's motivators. Okay, tip number 11 is try the 5-second rule. Very successful author and speaker Mel Robbins created the 5-second rule. Put simply, the 5-second rule, explained by Mel, means the moment you have an instinct to act upon a goal, you must physically move within 5 seconds, or else your brain will stop you. So in this case, you wake up and you want to get out of bed, so you count down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And you're up. You've got to get up. You hit 1. You have to get up. That's it. Actually count out loud and you will feel a force beneath you lift yourself out of bed. I also like to think of it as like when you were a kid and your parents would count down from 10 when you were about to get in trouble for something, and they'd be like, if you're not in bed by the time I have counted down from 10, you are grounded for a week. 10, 9, 8, 7, and you're there like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, I can't be grounded. And suddenly you are off in a shot and you are in bed before your mom has gotten to 0. And the lucky last tip, number 12, is to never give up. Don't be that person that gives up. There was a reason you decided that you wanted to get up earlier. There's a reason why you're watching this video. Develop strong willpower and it will become easier. Remember that mornings are sacred, not evil. And once you can truly see that for yourself, you have made it. You have become a morning person. That is where I'm wrapping up today. Remember to subscribe for more videos like this and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other uploads. Thanking you so much and see you soon. really cozy down here, not down there. What am I saying?